Joy from Stampinology. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to do another Z-fold card. This one is a vertical. This is the card that I did for my husband for Valentine's Day. So I'm going to have to write it up and put that in an envelope for him. But anyway, I'm going to do another one, something exactly what I'm doing. And we're going to do something a little bit different. Today I'm going to show you how to make a card out of all free stuff. You heard me. All right, I think we got the camera set. Yep. All right, as I mentioned, we're going to be using the free set that you can get with a 110-pound purchase. This is called Heart-Shaped, and you get the stamps and die set. Just show you really quick. This is really cute. So, oops, there we go. We're going to be using, well, most all of it today. So, this is as I mentioned, another version of the Z-fold card. Last time we did a regular side version, and today we're going to go with the long version as I showed you. So we're going to start off with a half sheet of cardstock. These measurements do not translate one-to-one. These cards are different size. The imperial and the metric are different sized. So if you are working with me in metric, you're going to use a vertical half a sheet of card stock, which is 10.5 by the length, which is 29.8. And if you're working with me in imperial, then you've got 4.5 by 11. And we're going to put this in our paper trimmer, and we're going to make 2 score lines. The first score line, you're going to roll it into 11.8 centimeters or 4 inches, and then the next score line is going to be at 18.9 centimeters or 6 3/4. And this is going to fold. Let's see if I got that's the long one actually. So the words I said were right. I didn't have it folded right. So you're going to fold it like this and like that. So this piece is going to be slightly smaller than the bottom piece. And I'm going to take your bone folder and give it a nice firm motion like that. And we're going to cut some designer series paper. This is also free. This is called Bloom Impressions, and we're going to be using this color today. This is the front, and that is the back. So I'm going to be using that on the smaller inner portion. So let's see what we've got. The smaller piece that fits on the top, I'm going to give you some measurements for that. It's going to be 10 centimeters across by 10.5 on the way down. And then if you're working imperial, 4 inches by, that's not 10 1/4. That can't be 10 1/4. Oh, I wrote 10 1/4 down. No. That is not 10 inches long. That is 4 1/8. Now I need to make sure I fix that in my notes. And this piece is going to go up here on the top. And then for our centerpiece, you're going to cut a section. Now, what I did is I just cut one long piece of paper. And, I showed you the Valentine's one. That's where I started with. So if you just cut one long chunk of paper off of one side of your designer series paper and you cut it 10 centimeters by 28.8, which means it's going to be 10 centimeters shorter than the actual length, or you can cut it by 4 inches by 10 1/4, meaning you'll cut off 3/4 of an inch if you're working on imperial. So anyway, so then you cut it into chunks, which I read you the first chunk is 10 by 5.5. Chunk number 2 here is 10 by 6.5, just a little bit shorter. And for imperial is 4 by 2.5. And then our largest piece that goes on the bottom here is going to be 10 by 11.3 or 4 by 4. This one's a square. So, yeah, that's a square. It's weird that I have 10 1/4. Anyway, so you can go ahead and affix the bottom bit and the middle bit. Because like I said, this is going to be another fasty. So I like to show you guys how to make fast, fun cards because sometimes you want to spend a lot of time doing one, and sometimes you don't really want to. Sometimes you just want to whip something out. You've got a design in mind, sit down, whip it out. Maybe you make more than one, as in Christmas cards or things. So it's good to have a stable of these simple, elegant cards. All right, so there's that one. And now let's go ahead and glue the center one. There's a reason I'm not gluing that one yet, because we're going to decorate. I am just about out of glue here. I keep saying that. I think I've said it in the last 2 videos I've done. And it just won't quite run out. It just keeps going and going and going. The Energizer glue bottle. Okay, let's get that up here like this. Yep. All right, and at this point, I stopped and I made some die cuts. Is this not the cutest thing you've ever seen? That is the die cut that goes with the set. You get this die, you get that die, and you get these flower die. Get one of those, and this is that's a leaf from another project. Okay, and then we get to these 3, which actually you get 1, but I cut 3, and then this. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue these onto the bottom to give ourselves a little decorative whatever. I thought about popping them up. Should I pop them up? Oh, I think I should. I think that'll look really nice. All right, let's wipe some of the glue off. I've got a piece of, I can show you. If you don't own one of these silicone mats, I highly suggest you get one. I can't live without it. I wipe everything on it. You can do stamping technique with it. You can put glue on it. You can poke it. I wouldn't poke it too much. I'm going to use a poking mat for poking, but this can't recommend it enough. Everybody should have a silicone mat on their desk, whether you get it from Stampin' Up! Or not, because they are invaluable. I'm going to pop this up. Let's see. Let's use our mini dimensionals. Yeah. You just put that right over where we have the glue, and nobody will know. If you get it on the straight. Unlike B, if you didn't get it on there straight and it hangs off the side, that doesn't look so good. Come on. May even have to get a half of one of these. Let's see if it shows. No, it doesn't. It looks good. All right, so put this right in the center here. Let's do it like that. And I'll turn these over. I love using dimensionals. I think it makes such a difference. It's what makes one of the things that make handmade cards stand out from store-bought cards. Because I've seen some truly elegant store-bought cards. It's just that when you go to the trouble and you do the pop-ups, they're so much more tactile, and I think people really appreciate that. Just up where you can see it. I'll put this slightly higher, I think, like that. Now we're definitely going to have to put a half dimensional, which these are always a bit of a, I need some scissors. Oh, I'm not going to use my good snips, I'm going to use these. Too much glue on my scissors. All right, there's one. Get the show. Sorry, it's a bit fiddly, but I think it might be actually worth the time to do it. It looks good. And then we'll do this one over here like that. Yep. Where's my other half? Yeah, I might have even should have gone quarters on this. Yeah, just something to remember if you do these. You can probably use a quarter of a dimensional on these tiny edges and then use a half on the flowers. And that way you only use two dimensionals for the whole shebang. Come on. Sorry, I always try to keep talking, but I start concentrating. I suppose it falls right up in there with chewing gum and walking. I can do it. I just don't tempt it too often, you know? Okay. I think I'll make it a little more like that. Can't tell how I want it. I'm gonna have to scoot it here. Hopefully I won't get my head in the way. Nope. Come, get out of the way. There we go. All right, so that is the bottom part of our card. Now I left plenty of room here to write. You can actually do some stamping here if you want. There's a lot of things you can do, but I think leaving a good space to write is what a lot of us do. This one's going to be a bit generic, so I think it makes it even more important to use it to write with. All right, and now for the top, we are going to, we have this. We're going to actually stamp on here, and I've got out the Blackberry Bliss ink, which is what this color is, if I haven't said it. And obviously you can see by putting it up to it, that's Blackberry Bliss. There's so many colors in this free set. I think it's so worth it. And this heart, even though it's a heart, it doesn't necessarily have to be. I'm going to use it for spring. Because it's leaves and berries, I could actually see doing this in green. You can get away with a Christmassy theme to it. You can get away with fall. You could stamp this in fall colors, especially if you did something like a, where you do the graduated stamping. I think that would look really cool, this heart. Now we've got that onto there. Let's see how gorgeous that is stamping onto the color paper background. I'm going to give my stamp a wipe here. My poor chamois, I'm going to have to order another one. About wore it out. All right. Now, while I have my stamp pad out, we're going to stamp our hello. And this is the little strip that I mentioned. Or actually, I'm mentioning it now. This is actually, I save all my strips that get cut off the edge of papers. Especially when I'm doing, when you do pieces like this and they're cut down, well, you have a strip always left over. So that's where these come from. I think most every color I have at some point, I've used it as a sort of a matting piece here. All right, and this is the little hello. Oops. There's something on that stamp. Let's just get a stamp in here a second. Can I get it off? Ah, yes, the beloved cat hair. Okay. I don't know where the cat is. She's usually right in here with me. All right, so we're going to stamp this. This is a tiny little thing. I'm going to make a little tiny tag. So we're just going to pop it down on here like that. And there's my little hello. I knew that didn't look right. Wash it again. Which is another reason to have a nice big long strip. All right, let's try it again. There we go. Perfect little hello. Okay. Now I got this idea. I got this idea from a necklace. Have you seen those necklaces that have the floating hearts? That's where this idea came from. Now this is a piece that I cut. This is one of the die cut pieces. So I'm going to affix my hello onto here. First we're going to cut it to size. Oh, that's my glue scissors. Let me get my really good snips out here. There's my snips. There's one. And there two. All right, so we use very tiny amount there. Now I'm going to glue this with my tweezers. This is one I don't want. Quickly throw it away. Now, normally I don't like to use glue on white cardstock, but I don't think this is going to be big enough to make a difference. All right. Now we're going to glue this right here, like that. Oh, I didn't measure that strip for you. I'm so sorry. I just realized this tiny piece of paper is, let's see, it is 8 millimeters, or 1, 2, 3. Oh, I can't see. Oh, that would be 2 8s. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5/16. Could do 5/16. And as long as you want. So 5/16 or 8 millimeters. Now what I'm going to do is poke a hole in this. And let me get out my hole poking thing. Oh, I discovered the hard way because I had to order another one. I had to order a new one of these. This is the Pierce mat. If you have a lot of dust in your house, like I do, I live in an older home, it got gooey because of the dust. So now we're going to use that. We're going to take your pick tool or any awl that you have. We're going to cut ourselves a little small hole here, like that. Bump. Heard that lovely pop. And snip this out again. Let's cut our thing off here. That, I think I'm going to round that corner just a little bit. Could wound up squaring it, but there we go. One tiny tag. Now, get back in here. This is not a Stampin' Up! Material. This is a piece of embroidery floss. If you have plain white sewing thread, you can use that. But any tiny white thing, okay. Where did my thread go? I'll put this away in a minute. I had a piece of thread that I already cut. We'll just cut another one. Don't need, oh, there it is. I don't need very much. And I'm going to use my tool to actually help me get it through the hole, because we did make a tiny hole. Come on, go through the hole. If you've got like a large needle, that'll work too. Wait, actually I have a large needle here. This is what I use when I'm sewing my scrapbook pages. I do scrapbook stitching. There we go. So if you have a large needle handy, that's the best thing to do this with. Because if it's a tiny tag, then it's going to need, how far do we want that to hang around? A tiny hole and a tiny, sorry. So I don't usually do things like this on camera because I'm such a klutz. But it's not for lack of trying. I think a lot of us out there are. We don't really want people to... I think we always want to show our best foot forward, but there's just times when, you know, that best foot just not happening. Okay, so, oops, still gotta... Here's tiny tag. All right, and what are we going to do with tiny tag? We are going to take another free item. Where are you? Here we go. This is the, oops, come on, I made a bow. Where are you? I will not tie a bow on screen. This is also a free item. This is Fresh Freesia 3/8-7" seam binding ribbon. And as you can see, it matches perfectly with the paper. So this is another one. Now this one is free with, let's see, I think it's the 55-pound purchase. Yeah, it's a 55-pound purchase. Now I'm putting this so it runs across sort of the bottom of the tag here. And I threaded it on. So we're going to glue this down first. Right here. And this is where basic piece of tape comes in handy. You can use anything to do this. We've got some seal, Stampin' Seal handy. That's probably the best thing. Just put the seal on the back and then pull it over. And I want to try to get this straight. Oh, and then we're going to thread our tag on here. Like this. Come on, don't stick. Pick it up now that I've got it held down. Okay, it's pretty straight. I think so. Obviously cut that a bit long there. Now what we're going to do with the front is I like the floating heart aspect. So I'm going to sort of float it like this. And push this over. Want that to stick up. Then we're going to put our bow underneath it to hold it down. Now we definitely need some mini glue dots here. Another one of those things you can't totally necessary. I think if I had to pick a top 5, I would say get some regular dimensionals because you can cut them down to size. Get your basic liquid glue and some glue dots. And that will stand you perfectly for card making. That's your top stickiness. You know, there's other things you get. I love seal. I do a lot of scrapbooking. So the seal is perfect. But nothing holds ribbons and bows like a bit of glue dot. Now we have a choice. We can move our floating heart up high like that, which I kind of like. Can do it. It wants to get stuck, which is fine. It can be stuck if it wants. Fold it up and you can have it hanging down like that. So that's something that looks good. But you can pretty much do this once you've got it stuck down anywhere you want it. And you can use a piece of tape, stick it again, but I rather like the floating aspect. So that is the front of our card. I am going to cut off of this big old long piece here. Let's get little glue scissors there. And let's give this a bit of glue. some on the edges. See, look at that big globby bits that came out. Not winning on the glue front. We're going to put this on the front of our card like this. Okay. And that's it. Quick, easy, and in the case of this card, free. Just with, and this is free with purchase with Stampin' Up. So what do you think, right? Awesome, guys? Got plenty of room to write. You can make the little text say thank you. This particular set has a couple of greetings. My heart loves your heart, which is the one I used on my Valentine's card here. Just because I care. There's a thank you. The thank you is just the size to make these little mini tags. So if you wanted to hang that, that's easy to do. I don't know if the thank you fits on the, I think it does. Maybe. I'll have to check it out. I'm not sure if the thank you fits on this, but I think it does. But we've got hello, just because I care. My heart loves your hearts. My thoughts are of you are all heart shaped, which I think is really cute. So that, you know, these aren't necessarily, this isn't necessarily a Valentine stamp, I guess is what I'm saying. And then, you know, I showed you this. So free set, free papers. And these papers are absolutely beautiful. I made a couple of cards with them. And free ribbon. So check it out now. You can go to my website. Now, like I said, I used all free things, but I do like a bit of bling sometimes. So if you want some suggestion on a bling, I did get these out. This is my Tinsel Gems 3-pack. And these are fresh freesia dots. And I thought, oh, just got to have a little bling. So I'm going to use these dots and I'm going to put them down here for centers on my flowers. Obviously, it looks great. You don't need them. But I thought this would just kind of, let's make it pop just a little bit more. There we go. So guess what? I hope I have shown everybody what you could do with free stuff. So if you have this, you can make this set. If you don't, this, as I mentioned before, fun card. Easy to make. Easy to adapt. See, the last one I made, kind of have to use designer series paper with it because of the width of it. But this one you can do designer series paper. You can do anything with it. It does not want to stay in the middle. Has anybody ever got some bling that didn't want to stay centered? Do you not get a necklace like that? It always hangs to the side of my neck. Okay, there we go. What do you guys think? Yep. And this one is merely white cardstock. As I told you, I mentioned before. Oh, I put this on here because I was photographing it. Here we go. This is one long strip of white cardstock. I used my Stampin' Right markers. I used the red one from the Regal set. And I just took my ruler, drew some lines on here, stamped it with a heart stamp. Now this time I glued it down because it's not floating. This gorgeous stamp, if you like the text stamps, this one is Elements of Text. And it has three different text ones and 2 different types of splatter, which is nice. And these splatters are good because they've got some big splats in them. So that's this is a fun set. This is available in the mini catalog right now. And what else? And up there's the stamp that matches this. That's also from the flower set. So anyway, yeah, grab yourself some free stuff, gang. And also wanted to demonstrate or illustrate that you don't have to. These cards are almost just alike, but look how different they look when you change colors. So keep that in mind when you're doing your own stuff, and hopefully, you know, the cards I make just inspire you to take it and run with it and do your own thing, or do my thing, whichever. I'm happy with it. I think copying is absolutely the sincerest part of flattery. Okay, thanks a lot. If you are watching this on Facebook, on my Facebook channel, I hope you'll give me a heart. If you are watching it on the replay on YouTube, I would appreciate that thumbs up and a subscribe if you liked what you see and you would like more content like this. You guys have a happy crafty day. See you next time.